nothing wrong. Now they sell uranium to Russia, and who's going to investigate Hillary Clinton on this? Tell me who do you think will do it? Loretta Lynch! Take a guess who's going to investigate this. If these pink Republicans ever get around to investigating Hillary Clinton's, did she ever approve it? Was she involved with it? Did she have anything to do with it? Are her fingers on it? Any fingerprints? Is there even a smudge? Is there even a hem of her skirt that touched this? We're going to investigate it. Take a guess who's going to determine it. Loretta Lynch, who they just approved today. It's a circle, you know what? I can't use the word because it'll be implied to be something that it isn't. It's all a game. They can get away with murder. They can destroy a country and nothing happens. So why do you think that this will bring Hillary Clinton down to her knees? Tell me why. You know, they're just talking about me because I'm a little old woman. Well, you know, this is the kind of thing in a campaign season that we're used to when we're little women like this, trying to make it better for girls in Africa. And don't think that the women won't buy it. I don't know where this ends. I don't know how a nation can survive this. I honestly don't know if we have survived it. See, you say, I don't know if it can. Have we survived it? You're telling me we have survived this kind of corruption? Have we survived it? I'm not sure we have. Take a look at this creep in the White House and what he continues to do to this country with the immigration out of control. And by the way, we investigated this. And although we know illegal immigration has been a big, big problem for this country for a long time, Obama did something no president before him has done. Between the years 2010 and now, the predominant number of immigrants allowed into the country are from Africa, the Middle East, and China. Did you know that? Europeans need not apply. Now, why would Obama be against Europeans from immigrating to America? Why would he want Africans? Why would he want Middle Easterners? Why would he want Chinese? Well, because he wants to transform America. You know, America's not a nation that he ever liked. It's a nation he hated. He said he hated the country. And the wife said that she was never proud to be an American until she became first lady. So in other words, in order to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. And America's the egg that they're working on breaking, a dozen at a time. KKOB, Steve, fire away. You're on the Savage Nation. Make it quickly, please. Where's line 9? I said he's on. Is he there or not? Gone with the wind. All right. Is he there or not? All right. Well, go ahead, Steve. I turn it off. A dummy. What kind of call screening am I getting today? He's on. He's not on. What is it, a high school radio show? I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Your Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com. It's the only company I trust for tangible assets, gold and silver. Call 800-BUI-COIN. Wall Street, Clinton Foundation fraud. It's unbelievable. And the Republicans are silent because when the shoe drops, the other shoe drops, when Schweitzer writes his next book, which is coming out next, he says in the autumn, he's going to look into Jeb Bush's games. And here we read on WorldNet Daily, Wall Street analyst uncovers Clinton Foundation fraud. Hillary's charity already under scrutiny for foreign donations. Then you see related stories. GE's Jeffrey Immelt roped into Clinton cash scandal, etc. This is all tied into the email scandal. Why do you think she erased 30,000 emails? Now you know the rest of the story. I mean, you don't have to be that smart or a right-winger to see the connection. Why did she erase 30,000 emails? Who would erase 30,000 emails if they had nothing to hide? So, okay, we know she's corrupt. We know that she stinks. We know that there's a history of this and that she'll destroy America to an extent you can't even imagine. She ran her own private email server while Secretary of State. She traveled all over the world to raise foreign contributions to her own foundation, which now totals over $2 billion. She then deletes all her personal emails. Well, that leads me to only one conclusion. We should all vote for her because she's a woman. We should vote for her because America needs a woman. Doesn't matter what kind of woman. What it matters is that she's a woman. We had our first black president. Look how well that's worked out over these last years. And so, therefore, I think to vote for this greedy individual makes sense. We should use her for sure. And anyone who's a liberal and still votes for this, you know, I don't. You ought to have your head examined. And Hillary is what she has always been and what she always will be. The foundation is all about greasing the skids for those who want political access to the government. Chaos has followed her wherever she has appeared. Let me trace it for you. Let's put it in context. While she was Secretary of State, she pushed the Arab Spring theory. And how did that work out for the world? While she was Secretary of State, Muhammad Gaddafi was executed of Libya. And he warned us. He said, I may be a bad guy, but don't kill me, he begged. Because if you kill me, Libya will descend into chaos. It will become another Somalia ruled by warlords. That's exactly what Hillary has wrought. Egypt, she brought about the Muslim Brotherhood. Luckily, the Egyptian people saw through her and pushed the Muslim Brotherhood out and actually put the president who put them in jail. They actually put Morsi in prison. Could you believe this? The former president of Egypt is it Morsi? I may have confused him with the current one, pardon me. But the president who was the buddy of the Muslim Brotherhood, who's a friend of Hillary Clinton, who's a friend of Barack Obama, is now in prison. That's how much they trust the government that Hillary wanted to erect in Egypt. So she has brought about a disaster with Russia as well, calling Putin Hitler, literally trying to trigger World War III. All the while, uranium was being transferred to Russian interests under her watch. How could you vote for her? I could see electing a Democrat if you're a Democrat, but why her? I don't understand how you can lock yourself in like that. I am politically an independent, but I'm very conservative. Let me put it to you that way. But do I sit here and support every Republican, even when they're caught in a scandal? You never heard me do that. To me, if they're corrupt, they're corrupt. How could you sit there and say, oh, well, she's a woman or a Democrat and vote for her anyway? Are you that stupid? Yes. Yes, you are. Have I finished this topic? Is it time to move on to meatballs and dogs? No. I have more to tell you the minute I come back right here on the Savage Nation.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Hillary summoned to a May 18th public hearing. But it's not about the uranium scandal. They're still catching up with 3 scandals ago. A House investigatory panel has summoned Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton to testify in a May 18th public hearing about her use of a private email server during a tenure as Secretary of State. You know that they're going to treat her with kid gloves, and you know they'll exonerate her and she'll look like a victim. That's the breaking news. Now, yesterday on the Savage Nation, I read a laudatory letter. I lauded the letter by Ray Flores, a gentleman I had never heard of, SEIU community organizer, lifetime Democrat. And he wrote a heartfelt letter that struck me as so sincere, saying that we're living through a Christian Holocaust. Where are you on this, President Obama? Why do you say nothing? I never met Mr. Flores, but he's calling the show right now out of the blue. And it's an honor for me to speak with this gentleman. Ray, welcome to the program. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Doctor. It's a pleasure to be here.
You wrote the letter for the obvious reasons. It's not about Obama. It's about the Christians. They're being slaughtered and no one's doing anything.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Have you heard from anyone in the administration, Mr. Flores?
No, and I don't expect to. It's just their modus operandi. They just, they ignore everything and they run amok any way they want.
Now, look, Ray, you're not a right-winger. You're not a conservative. You're not a Republican. You're a Spanish-speaking writer for the Chicago Tribune Spanish Language News Daily 10 years ago, communications specialist with SEIU, and you're that jaundiced on this administration. Isn't that true?
Well, actually, Doctor, I write for the Wanderer newspaper now. It's the WandererPress.com. It's in CNSNews.com. I'm more conservative, but I identify as Catholic more so than anything. I was working at the union at that time. Right now I work for the American Life League as a pro-life activist. So I sort of had a turnaround, if you will. Not that I ever believed in the leftist ideals. I was just trying to help the underdog. But that's how I got a good idea of how crooked the left, the Acorn, the Chicago-Alinsky community was. And if you ever read a book called No Higher Power from Phyllis Schlafly, I contributed some really important documents in the appendix that outline how even some of the Catholic bishops helped Obama and Acorn and SEIU basically actually planted the seeds back in the mid-'80s to create the kind of nightmare this nation is living under right now.
Well, you write in your open letter to Obama on our generation's Holocaust, you write the following. You say, entire schools of children are being set on fire, women are being gang raped, and men are beheaded in front of video cameras for all the world to see. ISIS terrorists are mocking and laughing at us as they slaughter our Christian brothers and sisters of all ages. And you say, are you telling me that somehow you aren't getting the same message we're all getting? Mr. President, you plea, would you come out and denounce these acts of terrorism and provide the necessary military aid to stop this genocide? That's what we're all asking, Mr. Flores. Why does he not mention this Holocaust against Christians, in your opinion?
Well, I'm just waiting for that to happen here in our church when I take my family and children to Mass on Sunday. I'm just waiting for some nut terrorists to come in and start either shooting or wielding a knife or an axe. And it's just a matter of time before it happens here on our shores. So I'm just waiting to see what is it going to take for Obama to at least say something. And he just seems to be aloof or completely complicit with the whole thing and supporting it.
So notice what you said, either aloof or complicit, and that's the part of it that bugs us all. We don't know, but the end result is the same. If he's not acting against them, then he's really enabling them.
Correct.
Mr. Flores, I want to ask you something. You are a Hispanic, obviously. You're a devout Catholic, obviously. You care very much about your religion and your family, which is incredible. It's the bedrock of America. I was recently on the beach in Southern California about, 2 months ago, and I was looking down on a Sunday at all the families, and it's largely Hispanic families down there in the volleyball beaches and the area that I was looking at. And, I got a feeling of strength about America. I looked at the Hispanic men, and I said, do you actually think that these guys are going to let the Muslims come here and convert them to Islam? Do you think these Hispanic guys are going to roll over? I didn't think so. I felt a tremendous sense of hope for the country. Am I crazy or what?
No, I think the one thing, and even with the illegals, the one thing that we have in common, meaning us conservative-minded people, is that even if they're not very well formed in the faith, they hold things like traditional marriage, and they are opposed to abortion. They at least believe in those things deep in their hearts somewhere. So I think that's the hope, that we shouldn't just throw the towel in and say all these illegals and immigrants are going to vote Democratic and just throw the towel in. No, we have the opportunity to teach those people the truth, even if we have to do it in their own language. And we're going to fight against ISIS, and we're going to fight against the left that's trying to homosexualize and abort all our children.
Wow. I can see that you're not going to be invited to the White House Christmas party where Johnny has two fathers.
In no way, no way.
Well, I'm very thrilled that you listened to the show. I would assume that since it's heard in Washington on MAL, that some people of importance are listening to the Savage Nation. And I'm thrilled that you call. And if you'll be kind enough to accept it, I'd like to send you a copy of my forthcoming novel, which is right on the money here, called Countdown to Mecca. It's a warning at the end of the day. And I want to thank you again, Mr. Flores, for calling the Savage Nation. And now I want to move on to something that's very important, which is 20 things I trust more than Hillary Clinton. 20 things I trust more than Hillary Clinton. They include a porcupine with a pet me sign. 20 things I trust more than Hillary Clinton includes Bill Clinton with my teenage daughter. 20 things I trust more than Hillary Clinton includes Mexican tap water, an elevator ride with Ray Rice. 20 things I trust more than Hillary Clinton include taking pills or a drink offered by Bill Cosby. 20 things I trust more than Hillary Clinton includes a Hillary Clinton war story reported by Brian Williams. Things I trust more than Hillary Clinton include gas station sushi, Jimmy Carter with the economy, an ISIS traveler on a motorcycle. Things I trust more than Hillary Clinton include Pete Carroll coaching decisions, eating an apple from an orchard at Fukushima reactor number 4. Yes, things I trust more than Hillary Clinton include why hitching a ride from a guy in a goalie mask, or the ingredients in a baseball stadium hot dog. Things I trust more than Hillary Clinton would include Nancy Pelosi's grip on reality. Or finally, something I trust more than Hillary Clinton would include Jerry Sandusky as a Boy Scout leader. Oh, my God, what a world we're in. Let's go to some of the callers on the Savage Nation. KSFO Radio, San Francisco, line 6. Go ahead, please.
Michael, the culture is trying to do to the Christian Archbishop of San Francisco what ISIS is doing to the Christians overseas.
Well, you heard me defend the Archbishop last week, didn't you?